What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, and today we're going to be taking a look at the first actual movie, not a documentary, to star the Beatles, and that is 1967's Magical Mystery Tour. Starring, of course, John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr, the Beatles, along with Jesse Robbins, Derek Royal, Mandy Wheat, Ivor Cutler, Mal Evans, Victor Spinetti, and Jan Carson. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. And like I said during the introduction, today we're going to take a look at the first film this month to actually star the Beatles that isn't a documentary. And when I say the first film, I don't actually mean the Beatles' first film. That, of course, was 1964's A Hard Day's Night, and that we'll be getting to beginning of next year. I'm already starting to line out next year's themes a little bit. January of next year, breaking news, is going to be an entire month of musicals. So A Hard Day's Night and Help will both be featured during that month. So we're going to get into the other Beatles movies this month. And today is Magical Mystery Tour. And for anybody who has ever seen this film, it can only be really described as an acid trip. I mean that with no disrespect. I love the Beatles. I love the Beatles films. But I defy anybody to tell me what the plot of this film is. Before I get into my description, essentially, the Beatles get on a tour bus and shenanigans ensue. That's it. There is no legitimate plot line to this film. It was a bunch of, let's drive around, and if we see something that we think we can do some kind of activity with, we'll stop and film it. There really is no rhyme or reason to this film. And between the bright colors and the magician sequences, which we'll get to in a minute, and songs like I Am the Walrus, very much considered an acid trip. And just a little tidbit. This was originally aired on BBC television in black and white. So you can just imagine 1967, the height of the psychedelic era. Colors, bright stuff, magicians, walruses in black and white. It's already lost half of what it was designed for. Enough about that. Enough about the precursor. Enough prologue. Let's get into this here, shall we? Now, like I said, our movie is made up of skits and scenarios with precursors to what would eventually become music videos thrown in as a way to promote the album. The film begins with a group of people boarding a bus for a mystery tour in 1967. Simple enough, right? The ride focuses primarily on Richard B. Starkey, Ringo, and his recently widowed Aunt Jessie. Other individuals on the bus include Jolly Jimmy Johnson, the tour director, Wendy Winters, the tour hostess, and Buster Bloodvessel, the tour conductor, as well as the other Beatles and random people thrown in. Now, during the course of the tour, strange things begin to happen at the whim of 4 or 5 magicians. During the journey, Richard and his Aunt Jessie argue continually, and Aunt Jessie daydreams about falling in love with Buster Bloodvessel, who himself begins to display eccentric, and disturbing behavior. The tour involves several strange activities, such as an impromptu race in which the passengers employ different modes of transportation. Some run, some jump into cars, one group pedals a very long bicycle, and Ringo beats all of them with the tour bus. In one scene, the tour group walks through a British Army recruitment office where they are greeted by an Army drill sergeant as well as Major McCartney. The drill sergeant begins to shout incomprehensibly and appears to instruct the assembled onlookers on how to attack a stuffed cow. A stuffed cow. The tour group also crawls into a tiny tent in a field inside of which is a projection theater. One scene inside of a restaurant shows a waiter named Pirandello continuously shoveling spaghetti onto the table in front of Aunt Jessie, while arriving guests step out from a lift and walk across the tabletops. The film continues with the female passengers going off with Wendy Winters, while the males go off with Jolly Jimmy Johnson. Jolly Jimmy takes the men into a strip show where they are entertained by the dancing and teasing of Jan Carson while the Bonzo Dog Doodah Band performs. Our film draws to its conclusion as the Beatles, dressed in white tuxedos, descend a staircase highlighting a glamorous, old-style dance crowd. Songs included in this film are Magical Mystery Tour, Fool on the Hill, I Am the Walrus, Your Mother Should Know, which is the finale song, amongst others that were included on the Magical Mystery Tour album. Wow. I mean, that sounds like a lot to digest and take in, but the movie itself is less than an hour long. It was not originally theatrical. Like I said, it was released on the BBC television network, BBC One, and it was broadcast originally in black and white. So you can just imagine the disappointment in the fans. Like I said, in the midst of the psychedelic era, and they're being shown this color film for the very first time in black and white. Now, I love this film because I love the Beatles. I accept it for what it is. It's not A Hard Day's Night. It's not Help. It's not even Yellow Submarine, which we'll get to in a couple days. It's an experiment. It's avant-garde. It's experimental art. And if you look at it from that perspective, and it was just something that specifically Paul, because a lot of people said that he was the driving force behind the creativity of this film. But these days, Paul doesn't want to take responsibility for it because it was that bad. But if you look at it through that aspect and the fact that Paul was going through a creative phase, trying to be experimental, trying something new and different, trying to expound a little bit, then you can almost forgive a film like this. Because, again, it's really not bad. It's just, what the F am I watching if you've never seen it before? I legit watched this with my daughter, who is 12 years old, going to be 13 in January. I had no problems showing it to her because I knew the strip scene was censored. She wasn't going to see anything. But she was looking at me throughout the entire time Like, what the F is this? And she loves the Beatles too. I have raised her on the Beatles. And she loves musicals. But there's just something about this film that if you're not a Beatles fan, or if you can't appreciate what was being attempted, it's just going to completely fall flat. So that being said, when it comes to my rating for this film, again, I love it. I hold it in high regard because it's the Beatles, but I'm going to rate it from a fair standpoint. I'm going to give this film, from a fair standpoint, 2.5 out of 5 stars. Personally, if I was just ranking it myself, I'd probably put it a little bit higher, put it at maybe 3. But I feel like I have to be fair for my viewers. So I'm going to put this at 2.5 because the songs are great. You know, again, I Am the Walrus, Magical Mystery Tour, Fool on the Hill. The songs are outstanding. It's the film itself that is a little bit lackluster. But again, if you look at it for the music video aspect, you can really see where, I can't say modern day music videos come from because very few channels play music videos anymore, but you can kind of get a glimpse at what was the inspiration for MTV and for videos of the like when MTV first started, specifically watching the I Am the Walrus video. I mean, I remember when I was younger, so much younger than today, MTV would actually show the videos from the Beatles films as music videos. So clearly they were onto something back then that didn't really evolve until 1981 when MTV launched. And then more specifically, 1982 when Michael Jackson saw some of the music videos that were coming out and was like, that's cute, hold my beer. I'm going to show you how music videos are supposed to be made. 2.5 out of 5 stars, though, for Magical Mystery Tour. What do you guys think? Those of you guys out there that have seen Magical Mystery Tour, how do you feel about it? How do you rate it? Am I being too generous because of my love for the Beatles? Or do you feel that 2.5 is pretty fair in the realm of Beatle movies? Let me know. If you're watching the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching on demand later in the day, leave your thoughts and comments down there. Whatever you do, though, when we get out there on the social media, let's try to get those hashtags trending. Hashtag Casa D18 Studios, hashtag Renegades Reviews, hashtag Renegade Returns, and of course, the ever popular hashtag Shenanigans. We interrupt this episode of Renegades Reviews for an important announcement about
merchandising.
Merchandising? What's that?
Merchandising. Come, I'll show you. Merchandising, where the real money's made.
Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network for all the t-shirts you see here from the West Coast professor, Jeff Meacham himself. You can get shirts for the Jeff Meacham Network, Talk Wrestling, as well as the red and gold Meachamania shirts. And while you're there, don't forget to get your shirts of the Casa D18 Studios Brotherhood, the Dads on Wrestling shirt, the Renegade J.J. Williams, Statboy Sports Bar, and the hashtag Statboy Approved shirt. Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network and score your shirts today. Make sure you guys get out there. Do what that commercial just told you. Go to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network for all the official merchandise of the Casa D18 Studios Brotherhood. Get you your Renegade J.J. Williams shirt, Dad's Not Always on Wrestling, Statboy Sports Bar, hashtag Statboy Approved, hashtag Shenanigans. Get you your official merchandise for the Jeff Meacham Network. 3 different designs of the Jeff Meacham Network logo for you to choose from, along with Talk Wrestling, Meachamania, so much more. It's still summertime. You still got time for those barbecues, beach bonfires, pool parties. Go to the Teespring store, get yourself a tank top. You can choose from the Renegade J.J. Williams or Meachamania. Either one is the perfect accessory for those hot summer days and those even hotter summer nights. Get out there, show your love and support. While you're showing your love and support, why don't you do what that ticker tells you? Do you enjoy my content, my daily videos? If so, go to that PayPal, send me a few bucks as a donation. Keep in mind, I'm still not monetized, trying to get my viewership hours up so I can be monetized, but it is a long and winding road to that destination. So the only way I'm going to make anything in the current time period is if you out there go to that PayPal, feel generous, send me a few bucks as a donation. You don't want to send me any money? That's cool. It's still my birthday month. So if you'd like to send me a birthday gift, just go to the Linktree link that scrolls across the bottom of the screen there. Click on the link for my Amazon movie wish list. I'm constantly adding movies, updating it. Pick a movie. When it arrives, I'll open it up on Renegade Recap, give you guys a thank you and a shout out for it. Likewise, when I factor it into one of my theme months, can sit down, watch it, review it, give you guys another shout out. And I'll show you guys all the same amount of love and support that you guys show to me. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews when we tackle the last film that we're going to do that takes a look at the life of John Lennon and leading up to what would eventually become the Beatles. 2009's Nowhere Boy, starring Aaron Johnson, Kristen Scott Thomas, Thomas Sainster, Anne-Marie Duff, Sam Bell, Josh Bolt, David Threlfall, and David Morrissey. You're not going to want to miss out tomorrow, right back here on Renegades Reviews, when we take a look at a film where the MCU's version of Quicksilver plays John Lennon. That's right. The man who would go on to be called Aaron Taylor Johnson. In this film, he's just Aaron Johnson. Quicksilver, Pietro Maximoff in Avengers Age of Ultron, is John Lennon in Nowhere Boy. Definitely something worth checking out and taking a look at if you've never seen it before. To all my loyal fans and viewers out there, tuning in, watching the premiere, leaving your thoughts and comments over here, thank you very much. I appreciate your guys' love and support. Likewise, all my loyal fans and viewers tuning in a little bit later in the day, watching on demand, leaving your thoughts and comments down here. Thank you very much. Again, I appreciate all your guys' love and support. I appreciate all my loyal fans and viewers out there who tune in on a regular basis. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.